NowThis is one of the earliest pioneers of the distributed model, which means bringing content to users where they live in the social feed and on mobile devices, and not trying to use social as a marketing tool to get them back to your website. So it's about natively publishing content, building authentic audiences, producing platform-appropriate content, and understanding that how you do something on Facebook will differ than how you do it on Snapchat. And recognizing that as you build this authentic audience, there's opportunities to meaningfully monetize that model. Well, it's a little bit of both, right? I think that on one side, yes, it's okay to be cautious and fearful that you're now building an audience in an environment that you don't own and have full control over like you do your site. But I think you have to be equally aware that the landscape and the marketplace has changed, and audiences more and more so are spending time consuming content on these platforms. So they control the distribution, and it's either you're going to be there to build your brand and build your audience there, or you won't be. Because it's getting harder and harder to drive traffic back to your site. And so as those views are and traffic is decreasing, you're either going to make up for it somewhere else or you're not. And that's the question of, what business you want to be in the next 5 or 10 years. In many ways, as you saw from the presentation, 75% of our audience is under the age of 35. They're rather young. We are covering stories of what's happening in the world today through that lens about what matters to young people. And so when we produce content on a daily basis, we're covering issues that really matter to young people, right? Whether it's the cost of education or the issues around equal rights and marriage rights, whatever the political issues might be. And this is the thing that I think really drives a relationship with our audience in terms of we're helping them spark conversation, we're educating them, we're informing them of what's happening in the world, that they can go out and have conversations with their friends. We're playing a small part in that landscape. Millennials in general are very smart, savvy individuals who know when they're being pandered to and when they're being talked down to. We want to talk to them in a way that is natural, like you would have a conversation with your friend. Like, we're in this together, and we're learning things together, and we're going through events in our life, both domestically and internationally, that affect all of us. So let's have a conversation about that. And I think that tone editorially is also what's allowed us to tap into that relationship with our audience that's quite real. Up until now, yes, essentially everything we produce is all video oriented through the lens of a video that could be 30 seconds in length to 3 to 5 minutes in length. We are beginning to expand the aperture of the content we'll cover, going into longer form, as well as some written text. But it has to fit the environment. We're not going to write large articles and do it on print. We're not going to do it on a website. We might do it in a newsletter. We might do it in instant articles on Facebook, in the environments where text makes sense on the platforms that we deliver the content to.